Hi, my name is Nick Grantham. I'm a CPA in Texas. I'm a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and today's video is about entity changes, and more specifically, when should we be creating a new QuickBooks due to an entity change? And before we dive into this, if you could consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel, that means so much. So again, thank you so much. Today's video topic is from a comment we received from CW Vowel on another video of ours. So, shout out, thank you so much for watching our videos and requesting this topic. But we want to talk about entity changes and when we might want to create the new QuickBooks, right? So, a lot of times, someone will start off their business maybe as a side gig. So, they're just a sole proprietor. But eventually, they want to create an LLC, or they want to be taxed as an S-Corp, or they are create a multi-member LLC with partners and they're filing a partnership return. And so the question is, well, if I already had a QuickBooks from being a sole prop, do I need to create a new QuickBooks when my entity type changes? And what I would tell you is my advice and what you should do is a lot different than what most people actually do. So what we see most of the time, just to be completely honest, is we see most people will just continue using their same QuickBooks, right? So I had a QuickBooks set up when I was a sole prop. I was using a personal bank account in it, and I was categorizing, my business expenses and my personal expenses. I was categorizing as non-deductible, and now I've created an LLC. Oh, but now I'm an LLC, so that means I have to use an LLC bank account. I can't use my personal account anymore. So I'm just going to disconnect those and connect the new and just kind of keep things rolling. And you can technically do that, but it really muddies the water, and especially when it comes to audit trails and just staying in compliance without intermingling funds, it's just not worth the risk, in my opinion. And what I would tell you is when you go from sole prop to LLC, when you become an LLC, when you form that new entity, you should go ahead and create a new QuickBooks from that point forward. A couple reasons why. First and foremost, when you're a sole prop, generally you are using your social. I guess it's possible that you have an EIN, but typically it's a sole prop EIN. So when you create the LLC, you're getting a brand new EIN, right? So one of the first things when you form your LLC is to get the EIN. So you're getting a new EIN, right? So my advice is start fresh, create the new QuickBooks at that point in time. The other big thing is you're getting a new bank account. So when you create an LLC, that really after you acquire the EIN, kind of the next thing is to go open up a business bank account. And it's very important that you specifically use your business account for business and you're not intermingling your business and your personal account. So what we want to do is create the new QuickBooks and connect the business account. And then if you have, prior cash, from when you were a sole prop in a personal account and you need to fund your new LLC account, when you first get started, that's great. Transfer that money into your new LLC account. That's your initial contribution. But we're starting QuickBooks fresh from that point in time. Now, this can result potentially in mid-year conversion. So another thing to mention is maybe for the first few months of the year, you were operating as a sole proprietor, but then all of a sudden you created your LLC. And so when it comes to your tax return, your 1040, if your new LLC is just a single member LLC and you're a disregarded entity, ultimately the work you did as a sole proprietor and the work you did as the single member LLC are both reported on Schedule C of your 1040. So it's obviously you want to have good info for both, but technically it is two different entities. So it's just important to mention that any work done January 1st through the date that the LLC was created was done by you as a sole prop. And then anything from the date that the entity was created through the end of the year is going to be your LLC. So when you're in Texas, for example, you're going to file a Texas franchise tax report based on your entity's revenue. And so it's just important to mention that this is going to be based on that period. So my advice is yes, even though it's a little bit of a headache, even though there might be a little bit of overlap with QuickBooks monthly fees, it's going to be cleanest to ultimately create that new QuickBooks and then slowly start to shut down the old. And obviously, we've done other videos on this, but do not intermingle LLC entity, funds, whether it be income or expense in your personal account. So the other thing we see is converting to S-Corp. This is a big one. So oftentimes we see C corporations elect S-Corp status, or single member LLCs will be taxed as an S Corp. So specifically, let's talk about going from single member LLC, which is a disregarded entity, to S Corp. Okay. So it's important to mention, and this is so common, but this is a tax change. If you're electing to have your single member LLC taxed as an S corp, yes, you are being taxed as an S corp, but you're still an LLC. So the legal entity type in the state is not changing. So in this case, you would keep the same QuickBooks, right? Let's say I took 3 steps. I went from sole prop, and then as my business grew, I formed my single member LLC. So at that change, yes, create a new QuickBooks. That's going to be the cleanest way to do things. But then maybe a few years later, you decide it's going to make sense to have your LLC taxed as an S corp. Well, in this case, continue using the same QuickBooks because the entity is not changing. It's just the way that it's being taxed. That's what's changing. So, yes, continue to use the same QuickBooks. There are a few accounting items that obviously change when you go from disregarded entity LLC to LLC taxed as an S corp. You're going to start tracking your basis on their tax returns. You're going to want to make sure the distributions and wages are in there correctly. You're going to be tracking your AAA account, your M2. So ultimately, we just want to make sure your books are clean from that point forward. So there might be some cleanup that you need to do to your QuickBooks when the S election date becomes effective. But yes, continue using the same QuickBooks for that type of change. And the same advice applies going from C Corp to S Corp election. Again, the entity is not changing. The legal entity is not changing. The tax entity is, but that's kind of the difference here. When we're changing legal entities, yes, getting the new QuickBooks is going to make the most sense. But when we're just changing the way we're being taxed, so going single member LLC to S corp taxation, or we're going C corp, so maybe I'm incorporated, but I'm being taxed as a C corp, and then I file my S election, and now I'm being taxed as an S corp, but I'm still incorporated. We can keep the same QuickBooks. And ultimately, in your QuickBooks, there is a way that you can notate what type of entity you are. So if you go to your settings, you'll see in your settings where you can change you can change the entity type there. And then if you're using for example, one of Intuit's tax prep softwares, you can, that's helpful because it can help you import data based on your entity type. So if you found today's video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Leave any questions below. If there's anything I was unclear on, please do let us know. And again, thanks so much for the comment from CW Vowel, and we greatly appreciate you tuning in.